welcome to Let's Talk Stupid. I'm Compound.
And I'm Proud, and today's episode is a little different. So it will be an episode dedicated to me, I guess. So we want to extend the We Will Be Stupid. That is the first episode, and you could squeeze so much information about us in just an hour, and we are two different people, and so we want to get into detail a little bit more, and also maybe because personally I feel like the first episode's quality is not that good, but for now we got a little hang of it now, so hopefully it will be better as well.
Yes. So, turns out that this is going to be Proud's episode, and as you can see in the title, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, we will have quite a different structure today. So, I'm going to interview Proud about something in her life that make her who she is right now. So, we're going to have some sort of a narrative here. Okay. First, well, what are some things that you find weird in your childhood? What are some stories that make you right now?
Mm-hmm. I actually have a couple of stories. The first one, I believe I've told you and many people before. So it was when I was around 6 or 7 years old. So at that time, I love role playing, and that in that particular night, I wanted to make a papaya salad.
Ah.
You have heard of this story. Exactly. It's that story. So the reason why I wanted to make a papaya salad was because I had this miniature mortar and pestle. For some reason, I don't know why either. But when I think of those equipments, I think of papaya salad. And so I basically thought, yeah, I want to make a papaya salad. However, I don't like to play with food, so I decided, I'll just grab a bunch of things I could find. So I found some erasers, rocks, leaves, and maybe some flowers, and I just while I was stirring them around, I realized I forgot the most important ingredient, which is the papaya. But there's nothing in the mortar that is strip-like, so I was thinking over it, and then I realized, I could use my hair, because at the time I had some bangs, right? And it's sort of poking my eye, so it's right in front of my eyes. And so I thought to myself, this would definitely work. So I just walked to the other side of the room and grabbed a pair of scissors and snipped away my bangs. So after that, I got a good amount of my hair into the mortar itself, and I was just mixing around, and the first thing I thought was that, well, my hair is too fine. That is underwhelming. So I was a little bit disappointed, but I get over it quickly. I had some fun, so I just leave it there in that mortar, walk away, and play something else. And so soon after that, my mom found the uneven bangs on my forehead, and she was furious. She was real mad. So then she asked, what happened? And I just answered, with a poker face, no expression whatsoever, I did nothing wrong. I just basically answered her, I wanted to make a papaya salad. And she laughed like crazy. And so, yeah, she laughed. And after that, she brought me to the hairdresser. And that is the story of why... At that age, I got too short of bangs because I snipped away my hair.
Well, it would be very horrifying if somebody found your pieces of hair mixed with other stuff.
Yeah, it's actually quite creepy, but I find it so weird and so funny because I didn't even think of cutting leaves into strips. I just my hair, obviously.
I see. Well, that was sure one of the best stories about childhood I've ever heard. Because I've not heard so many weird childhood. It's I live in a circle of people where parents are quite protective of their children, and they always keep an eye on their children.
Mm-hmm. my mother's, or she usually let me play all by myself. So I did a bunch of weird stuff when I was young. This is just the first story, but this is the weirdest already. Spoiler alert. This is the weirdest that I could think of now, though. Maybe in the future I could recall some more. Let's move on to the second one, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
So as I said, I love to play by myself. I love to role play, and well, usually I would utilize what I've already had, but other times I will also build something new as well. And for your information, my mother used to own a restaurant, and one of the ingredients in her sauce was apple. So there will be lots of cardboard boxes of apple in my house. So I just pick an empty one, steal it from my mom, and create a cardboard space shuttle or cardboard car by cutting them. And here's the thing: there were two types of scissors in my house. The first one is the real scissor, the actual one that we use, and the second one is a safety scissor for kids, because I was still young. So they got mixed around a little bit, but for some reason I couldn't distinguish between those two. And for the safety scissors, it's so bad. It was designed to not cut the kid's finger, not cut my fingers, right? But here's the thing: it couldn't even cut a piece of paper. And somehow, because maybe I was young or I was dumb, I couldn't distinguish between real scissors and safety scissors, and half of the time I'll be grabbing the fake scissors. And even with the real scissors, it's already so hard to cut a cardboard. But this time I grabbed the safety scissors, and I was just having fun. I was why is the cardboard today so hard to cut, right? And then I realized, oh, it's the safety scissors. But I didn't even bother look for the real scissor. I just continue using it and cut it into an airplane or whatever I was playing. And because my mom always taught me to just tidy up when I finished playing. So the tidy in my definition was that I keep it in place, organize it a little bit, right? But for my mom, it was to throw it away. So she threw it away every time I built a new one, because she said it doesn't matter, you don't have to hold on to it. What matters is the time that you spend playing it. And I would argue back to her that no, I'm not done playing with it. So every time I'll build a new one, and she'll just throw it away, and I'll build a new one again the next day, and she'll throw it away. So I got a lot of muscle work when I was young because of that safety scissors. Also, I did have one habit that stuck with me from since I was young, because I love to do all these building stuff, right? So I love to keep trash. I love to keep trash because I think those packagings could be used in some of my future DIY projects. So I love to keep yogurt container, water bottles, and I love these. This is my favorite, the core paper roll. I have tens of these. I don't know why as well. Maybe because I feel I could create something symmetrical, so I keep a bunch of these, and I still keep them to this day.
What did you write?
I have a trash.
What did you write?
Oh, it's cables. It's for cable management. I love to keep trash, and I still do it to this day. I have lots of them. I'm showing compound this. This is the one I made from vitamin C container.
It's actually pretty cool.
Fancy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, but for now, during this COVID time, I've been eating a lot of yogurt, so I've been trying so hard to convince myself not to keep all of them because I basically eat one every day, so it would be my drawer is already full with trash, so yeah, I couldn't keep more.
No, it's not trash.
So big fan of recycling.
Yeah, it's just unused materials.
Exactly, it's unused material. Oh, another fun thing that I just realized yesterday, whenever you buy something, there'll be like a piece of cardboard to support the structure of that packaging, right? For example, like when you go to Daiso store, there'll be like plastic wrap, and then inside will be like a piece of cardboard. I love to keep those. I love to keep those for no reason. Most people will just throw it away after they got the item. I just like to like sweep it out and just keep that part for something. I don't know. I have a bunch of those as well. I think it's funny. If you do not know what it is, you probably throw it away every time as well.
Yeah, I throw it away every time.
Yeah, I'm just crazy when it comes to the unused materials.
Well, I think it's pretty good, you know, environmentally friendly. And actually, you can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I see your vitamins, supplements, bottles, and that's so cool.
Yeah, it's very good for cable management, as you can see. Like, you can separate, like, individually.
It looks legit. So nice. Do you have any other weird stories you would like to tell us?
Yeah, this is the last one already. I wouldn't say it's weird, but it definitely is unique, for sure. So, when I was young, not only did I was creative, I was also like talkative and super duper confident, like super confident. It's actually a two-part story. The first one, it's just like an example for how bold I was. The first one was when my mom actually told me this. Like, we were walking in a mall or something, and there was a central part of the mall where there will be events that get held there. So we were walking there, and there was a guy on like a stage, and he said like, would anyone volunteer to come up here or something? And I was like, I volunteered, and I just walked up there, and he told me to sing a song or something in front of many people in the mall, and I just do that. I did that when I was young, and my cousin was like amazed. I couldn't even remember the story though, so maybe I got most of the details incorrect, but basically, yeah, I walked up a stage in the mall and sing a song. And the second one is that in primary school, somehow that year, I wanted to participate in the pageant for Loi Krathong festival. So I participated in that. And I actually got third place. Oh my god, I basically did nothing. I was like, yeah, so I dressed up in Thai dress, right? And I got to say something nice about Loi Krathong on the stage. And somehow I got third place. And my mom was so proud of me. And she even told me at the time that, like, you know, the first and second place is like the teacher's children, so I believe you actually won. And I was like, are you serious? But I didn't believe her though. But it's like a coincidence in that the first place was the first year of primary school, the second place was from the second year, and I was the third place, and I was also from the third year, so I didn't know how that worked.
You know, actually, that was the first time I remember who you are. It was the
Really?
first time I know who you are because you won third place.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone remember that story. I thought like everyone forgot that I got third place, sorry.
Yeah. I didn't participate, but I was around to see who's like the Nang Nopamat, so it's the title.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I can still remember your face and what your face and like, you know, light makes up as a kid.
Really? I couldn't remember it myself, but I also have like the photo of it.
Okay. So, another thing is that I want to know, you have so many events in your childhood, but what do you think that is an important event that if something happened differently, it would change your life?
Yeah, I did my homework, so I actually found one, and it actually shaped a lot of who I am today. So again, it happened in primary school again. It was around the fifth year of primary school, and so this is how the school system work. How our school system work is that every year all class got mixed up, and you just have to make a new friend every time. And in that particular year, I knew no one, so it's kind of great because I gotta meet new people. But the problem was that the group of friends that I ended up with wasn't really, I would say, they weren't compatible with me. So I tried too hard to fit in, and eventually it didn't work, and the environment was just a little bad for me, and it hurt my confidence a lot. And it you couldn't say that. Oh yeah, it definitely hurt my confidence a lot. But so I was a bit down during that period, but luckily I actually met a new group of friends who truly values who I am, and I didn't have to try to fit in. I didn't have to try to pretend to be someone else. I could just be myself and discover who I actually am. And so I got over that period quickly. It took me roughly 2 years to just be myself. So after that event, I turned into a little bit of a self-doubting person. I still am today, but it's actually a good thing, because when I was young, I would say that I was so conceited. I was overconfident. So it's a good thing that I got broken down a little bit, so I can build it up and learn along the way. So it's pretty nice. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that's your Nexus Point event.
But so if I happen to fit in with that group of friends, I would definitely be a completely different person. I might still be confident and go to singing contests or whatever. And actually I have a fun story as well. I went to an interview for a child reporter, news reporter, when I was young, but I didn't get it because I was too nervous. But yeah, maybe I would get that if I get along with that group of friends and be super overconfident. I might be a celebrity, who knows? I'm just kidding though.
Or you might become an influencer.
That's
and do YouTube.
Possible though. That's possible, but definitely I feel like it won't change the program. I would still be a student in science and math program for sure, because even though, so here's the thing, after I sort of snapped, right, I became more studious than ever, a nerd. I don't know why, it was a phase. I even cut my hair. I got a bob hair. I think it's just a coincidence, but yeah, let's just say that I cut it because I was sad or something. But
sure.
Yeah, so I became very studious, right? But before that, it didn't mean that I got a very, very bad grade though. I did great, but probably because it was easy since it's a primary school, mm-hmm. So you don't have to pay attention much to the things you learn. But I believe the timing is too perfect, because for middle school you have to be more studious, so I snapped in time. But I still don't think that even if I were to stay with that group of friends, even if I were to participate, be a singer, be a star, I would still choose the science and math program because I love science.
No, so nice.
It's one of my favorite subjects.
Oh, well,
of
the
all
thing
time.
about you talking about you or being more studious in middle school, I only know you from primary school. The me version in middle school only know you from primary school as somebody who won 3rd place in the Nang Nopavat. And
oh
then
my god!
And then we went into
I never knew this
ability class together, and first
mm-hmm.
year I was Mikey's good, and second year I was damn, Proud's good, and the third year I was really impressed with your presentation. It was it was so
Really?
great. It was outstanding from other
Oh,
students. Mikey is still good, and but your has become a lot better. It impressed
really?
me. Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, that's so nice. Oh,
No, it's true. I've never told you, right?
yeah, you've never told me this. Oh.
Okay, because I want to keep your self-esteem in check. Nah, nah, nah. Just kidding. Because I was waiting for this moment. Okay. Okay. So the next question I would like to ask you is that when do you feel like when do you start questioning yourself who you are?
Oh yeah, it's probably that period that I got into semi emo phase that I started to question like who am I and who am I actually. So I started reading books like nonfiction books, but not also educational though. It's just nonfiction. So I read a bunch of like at the time my favorite genre was pop science. So it's science but fun basically. I love that genre and I felt like I fell in love with science all over again. And I actually have two periods. Another period was actually when I changed the school. So I moved into a different high school, right? Actually, I had no plan. Well, I had some plan of changing the school, but it's different school from what I'm in right now. So, so the reason why I didn't go to that school that I aimed at was because I didn't get in. I didn't pass the exam. Obviously, I would have gone if yeah. But so so I didn't pay much attention to this school that I'm currently in. So it's magical, right? Somehow I got in. And so I was thinking over whether I should go to this school or not. And then one of the reasons why I decided to switch school was because I wanted to find out who I am. Because in if I stay at the same school for all 12 years, there's already an expectation laid for me.
Mm-hmm.
People expect me to be this. People expect me to act like this. I had no way of changing my appearance or changing the perception of people who already have seen me for 9 years. Or so I wanted to like start all over. I wanted to discover who I am. I want to experiment whether if I'm in an environment that I basically knew no one and no one had any expectation for me, expectation of me, what would happen? And I wanted to like test myself whether I'm actually studious or whether I'm actually friendly or amiable or not. And I figured that out, and it was definitely fun.
I see. So do you ever have a moment where you face a difficult situations that made you realize what your life goals are?
I had those feelings like every once in a while. I couldn't really think of like a major event, but definitely the frequency is a lot higher when during those two periods that snapped my life that I've told you. Yeah.
So can you tell me your life goals?
I like I think I want to be in like the medical field. Let's just say the medical field in case I didn't get the place I want or the position or get into the job I wanted. But eventually I feel like I want to become a researcher because I feel like it's a fun and exciting job and I can expand and extend the broaden the horizon, extend the possibility and help shape the future of medicine or something. I think it's cool.
I agree. That's a certain aspects of your career's life goals. And what about your personal life goals? How do you want to live?
Personal life goals. How I want to live. That's interesting. I don't really know. I feel like I just want to keep continue being who I am. Well, definitely, I want to keep learning for sure. Even though I've already done too many embarrassing things, too many weird things in my life, I feel like it's just part of my personality now, being weird, embarrassing myself every once in a while. And that's just like the season in my life. That's the flavor that I don't particularly hate, but it's funny and it makes me smile, even though at the time I might be super embarrassed.
I see. Okay, so last question, but this is not probably a question at all. It's a sort of a thought experiment. So you said that there are so many turning points in your. You said there's turning points in your life, right? So what would happen to each ending of your life if something happened differently?
Like an alternative universe, right?
Yeah, like that. I'm sorry. Yes.
I actually prepared 5 stories. I'll just read the title and like let you choose which one should go first. So
Okay, sure.
just to like make some suspension, hype up a little bit. So the first one is futuristic future. The second one is with great power comes great responsibility. The third one is into the unknown. The fourth one is transmigration, and the last one is fantastic ending and where to find them.
First, what is the fourth ending again?
Transmigration. It's like transmigration is a word I learned from reading a web novel. So basically, you just sort of like you died or something, and then your soul enter another body. Yeah, that's basically it. Like most of the time, it would be like your soul enter a body of a character in a novel or a game. So that's transmigration.
Okay, we can go with transmigration first.
Okay, sure. So because the last month I read a lot of like web novels, so I got a little bit into this sort of stuff. So I just realized, oh, maybe I just want to write something about it. So maybe in this universe I died, and maybe I was just like I was sleeping and I just drifted away, and my soul just got inside one of the novels I've read, and I turned into a villainess of the story. And so usually the cliche part of being a villainess is that you are pretty, you are rich, but your personality isn't great. Like because you fall in love with the male lead of the story, you will hurt or you'll be jealous of the female lead or the heroine, and you would get punished because of that, because you bother the heroine. So when I got inside that story, all I had to do was like destroy all the dead flags and never ever bother or come between the hero's love. And I just gotta spend my life in luxury because I'm pretty and I'm rich, and maybe in the process I can fall in love as well. And that is the story of my life in
Okay, nice one. So what about futuristic ending?
So futuristic ending. So I would be working, right? Like I said, I would be a researcher. I would like do all the crazy part. I would be going abroad, study stuff, researching stuff, and then I would buy a home and I'll make it a smart home with lots of text, and then one day I'll adopt an AI or an android. An android is like a robot that looks like a human. So I would adopt an android, and I would treat this android preciously and make it sort of like my own child, and make it and coaxing it into thinking that it is a human. And so after that, an android will take over the world, right? So I could be with this precious child and I wouldn't get a revenge from it, and I can live together with people who love Android, while other people who abuse or treat Android as an object will be punished. And so I will live together with the AIs, and eventually they'll let me upload my consciousness to the cloud and be a part of them.
Oh, that sounds pretty nice. Well, I imagine the world of androids during like the wartime being like, you love Android, you survive.
Exactly.
You hate Android.
Exactly.
You go.
Exactly. That is my goal, and eventually I'll be a part of them anyway.
Okay. So what about the second ending?
Oh, the second ending is, with great power comes great responsibility. So in this universe, it happens like within a year from now, during this COVID time. So because when I turn 18, which is next year, COVID is still a little bit around, and people still had to get vaccinated in this universe. So I got to the vaccinations site. Oh, a little bit of a disclaimer. So I do believe that vaccine work, and this is just an alternative universe. So you should get vaccinated anyway. Okay, let's continue. So I got to the vaccination site and I got vaccinated, but the serum itself got switched because of this lot of vaccine was from China, and it got mixed up. One sample got mixed up with a sample that they tested in a research lab. So my sample was switched. My vaccine was switched with some different chemicals. So I got injected with that. And I didn't know, but because like when I got home, I got fever and everything. So I was lying in bed covered in sweat. And I was like that for a couple of days, and then suddenly I felt like my body is super light, and I felt very weird. And so I got up from bed, I walked over to my mom, and she looked at me, and my face looked okay, but I was covered in sweat. So she asked me like, "Are you really okay? Are you fine?" So I was like, I'm okay, Mom. I think I should just take a shower. And she would be like, "No, I don't think you're fine. Maybe should we go to the doctor? Maybe there's a side effect." And then I answer her, "No, Mom, I am definitely okay." And suddenly her expression changed abruptly, and she was like, yeah, you are fine. Yeah. And she walked away. And I was confused. Like, suddenly she just like changed completely. But then I wanted to test out whether my speculation was correct or not. So I walked over to my dad, and his question was the same. Like, "Are you okay? Are you sure you're fine? Should we go to the doctor?" And I just answered, "No, Dad, I'm definitely okay." And his expression changed like that of my mom's, and he was like, "Yeah, definitely okay. You can do whatever you want." And then I realized, oh, whenever I said definitely, I can convince people to do whatever I want. So maybe it's because that chemical changed something in my body, and it made me be able to manipulate people's magnetic field or disrupt it, and it changed something in their brain, and they can they want to follow what I had to say when I said the word definitely. And so this power would be, the limit would be that I have to be in the same place with them, and it wouldn't last very long. So I have to be in the same place, and it didn't last long. So I couldn't actually like change the person completely. I could just change their decision or the way they speak in a short period of time. So it's like short-term decision. And so I realized, with great powers comes great responsibility. I want to use this power for others. So I decided to get involved in the political world. and so as I said, I have to be in the same place with that person in order to manipulate them, right? So I might be the one pulling strings from behind by controlling like important figures, and basically I want to allocate lots of fund into education and healthcare of Thailand, and destroy corruption as much as I can. There's as I said, there's a limit to this power, but I'll try to like manipulate people to confess their crime in the court or something. Yeah, that's the second ending.
Okay. Well, that's very nice. The political world. Well, you can just at least be a prime minister with that power, I guess.
Maybe, but because like usually the prime minister, you couldn't meet that person like really, but it's through like TV and broadcast, and it wouldn't work. So that's why I should be pulling strings instead, right? You know.
I see. You could just be like, a housemaid at the White House.
Oh, maybe that would work as well.
Things.
Exactly. Yeah. And I could get a very good salary as well, because I can always convince my boss to give me a bonus.
Exactly. And you don't have to do too much of work. Don't have to take any responsibilities.
Exactly. Nice.
Okay, sure. What about the third ending?
Oh, the third is called Into the Unknown. So, in this universe, within the period of 1 year from now on, I got kidnapped by an alien. And so, with that group of alien, I was experimented on with like chemicals and things, and I suffered for like a couple of months. However, I was rescued by a space force or something. But still, even though I was rescued along with other friends I've met in the ship, I couldn't go back to Earth because the chemicals I was experimented on would contaminate Earth, and also it would be lethal for other people. Even the reason why I survived was because like they used a bunch of chemicals, and the reaction like helped me survive. But it means that I can't go back to Earth. And also I couldn't contact people on Earth because they still have no idea that aliens do exist and Space Force exists. And because the Space Force just gave me the reason that humans are not dumb. Humans are in the spectrum of like rather intelligent, and they also are unpredictable, and therefore it could make a lot of harm to other species, other aliens, and therefore they decided that it's better for human not to know exactly whether aliens exist or not, because like some people might be fangirling aliens and others would be like trying to bomb and destroy aliens, right? So the best possible way they figured was that let's just say we don't exist, so that they couldn't respond right away, or they couldn't do any harm to us. So after that, I decided to join the Space Force and help free the other captive in those mad scientist aliens that capture a bunch of species to test.
Oh, nice. That's so cool, actually, joining the Space Force. Shooting laser guns. I assume it exists.
Yeah, that would be so cool as well. Maybe I got some special power from those chemicals I was tested on as well.
Yeah. Don't forget to listen to Rocket Man, though. It would be so good a soundtrack. Rocket Man from Elton John.
Ooh, I've never listened to it. I'll try that out.
Alright, so what is the last ending?
The last ending, fantastic ending, and where to find them. So this one is like, I love Harry Potter. I just have to put that out of the way. I love Harry Potter, so I decided to write this. So in this universe, one day I actually got a letter from a magical school of Thailand. So here's the thing, why usually for Hogwarts it would be when you're 11 years old, right? But the reason why the letter delayed was because there is actually no school of magic in Thailand. This is actually true to like the Harry Potter universe, though. There aren't school in this region because the population of wizards is just, the density is so small that they don't think they should build a school here in this region. But however, in this universe, the number of magicians rose sharply during the past decade, so they realized they should just establish a magical school of Thailand. And so the school just finished, so that's why I got a letter, and because I'm a Muggle born, the magician in Thailand just realized that, well, I do have some level of magic, but it would be troublesome if, because like there's no place for me to learn magic, so they decided to conceal my magic up to now, and they decided to reveal it now when the school is finished. And so I got to attend this magical school. Even though it's late, I got to attend it. And also I have to work harder because I feel like I was falling behind a lot, like 6 years compared to those in Hogwarts and in America. There's another school like Ilvermorny or something. So I had to like be very studious, and eventually I was able to become an animagus, which is I could turn into an animal. However, the animal I turned into was like a small insect. And initially, I was very disappointed because usually people could become like huge thing, and I felt like that would be useful. But nevertheless, because becoming an animagus is extremely hard, I had to register it with the Ministry of Magic. So I went over and got myself registered, and sometime after that, I got contacted from the ministry because the reason why I couldn't go to like other school other than in Thailand was because of overcrowding. Somehow, like everywhere in the world, people just got magic everywhere in the world. So it's hard to like get a quality education. So, however, because I could turn into an animagus, and it's very rare, it's even rarer nowadays because of overcrowding, and the source of material are just like less or whatever. There are too many people to get educated, and so it was even rarer. And so the Ministry of Magic in England wanted me to be a spy because I was a small insect and I could like infiltrate places. So I got transferred to England, and I worked with the England Ministry of Magic, and I was their spy for a couple of while, like 5 years or so. And then, so at this time, in this universe, J.K. Rowling is like one of the most wanted criminal because she's actually a witch, but she disclosed the fact about the magical world, so she is highly wanted. But the reason why they couldn't capture J.K. Rowling was because she gained a lot of
public attention, right?
Yes, and also the Muggle money, so she could bribe the powerful wizard to protect her. But at this time of the universe, when I was being a spy, her power got decreased because she basically detached herself a lot from the magical world, and so her writing got worsened and people stopped following her because of that. So her power decreased, and they see it as an opening for me to like interfere her building or her house. So I got inside that, and I helped with the Ministry of Magic and captured J.K. Rowling.
No more racist tweets, yay!
And that is like part of the reason why her power got decreased as well, because she's not that great.
Jeez. Okay, that was very creative. But what kind of insects can you transform into?
I haven't thought of that. Maybe like butterfly, dragonfly, who knows?
Mosquitoes is pretty nice because you're ubiquitous. Good for spiders.
Oh, that's interesting. But also I die very easily as well. Got slapped and then I died.
Maybe fly will work. You know, fly is also ubiquitous, and I can never squish a fly. Never.
Oh yeah, because they're disgusting. That might be true. So. But they make like a sound. Maybe mosquito would be better in some cases. Maybe a spider. How about a spider?
A spider works, but don't be like huntman spider because they're so big. Be like long leg spider.
Sure.
Yeah. But spider can travel at like so minimum a speed because they can't fly, right?
Oh. Or maybe be an ant. Ant can fly as well. Like be a queen ant or something.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I think as I've listened to all the endings, they're very creative. And maybe we'll see which ending in this life you will get.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, oh, who knows?
Who knows?
Okay. Okay, sure. Maybe tomorrow you'll shoot webs or something. Okay, so after all that we've listened today, would you like to leave us a little cheerful message or a little life lessons you have learned so far?
Well, I might want to quote a saying from the animation called Meet the Robinsons. I really love this quote. It says, keep moving forward. It's just that. Keep moving forward. Keep improving and keep learning. Even though I also have heard that even though you have embarrassed yourself, whenever you feel embarrassed, it's a good thing because it's actually that you learn something from it. You learn that you shouldn't do this, and the feeling of embarrassment is just funny, right? It's nothing serious, and eventually you'll get over it and you might get a good laugh out of it. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we thank you very much for listening to our podcast today. We'll see you again next week.
Oh, and wait, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It's all Let's Talk Stupid. And do you have any questions for today's episode?
I think it'll be better to leave our listeners to think about him or herself. And you can tell us on your emails, or you can just write a journal. This is the perfect time to reflect on yourself, to think about what you want to be in the future. What will your life be? What are your alternative endings? That's it.
Yeah, and you can send the answers to letstalkstupid.stupid@gmail.com.
So that's really all for today now. Goodbye, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, next week is Compound's episode. Stay tuned.